Spooner started off slow this year, Bob, with the loss, the opening game loss to a very fine St. Croix Falls team right here, 20-0. And then down at Chippewa Falls, losing on Labor Day to McDonald, 21-12. But they've come back strong the last couple of weeks. They beat Ladysmith 26-6, and last week we had them on the air down in Barron with a 14-0 victory against the Golden Bears. So Chris Anderson, I know, lost a lot of players from his state runner-up team of last year, but he has a feeling, I talked to before the game, that the Rails are going to explode at any time.
I have to agree with you. You know, Chris Anderson, and what a great individual, does a lot for the town, a good coach. All the players really look up to him and respect him. One of the things that they were instrumental in here was bringing football to the younger ages, the 7th and 8th graders. And I know the 7th graders had kind of a scrimmage game yesterday against Webster here in Spooner. And the way it was told to me, although they weren't really keeping score, Spooner had more touchdowns than the other team, is what it was. And you know, the thing that also amazes me about these 7th and 8th grade kids coming up through the school system here, they've got some kids that are going 6'1", 6'2", 180, 190, 200 pounds. Let me tell you what, in a couple, 3 years, when these kids get ready to come up and they know the fundamentals, which is what it was all about, this is really an up-and-coming football program for Spooner.
Success breeds success. Consistency is the key. Spooner has won the toss and elected to receive. We have a stiff breeze blowing from south to north down the length of the field at the back of the Cumberland Beavers. And kicking off for Cumberland is the guy who kicks it down to the Spooner Rails. They always change the numbers on me. We got a big return going up right up the middle of the field, all the way up to the 48-yard line. On the return for Spooner is Greg Strunk. And a nice return gets things going right away for the Rails. They mark him down at the 45-yard line. The kickoff man was Chris Shirer. And we'll get a look at that Spooner offense led by the quarterback, Mike Laird. Eric Halverson and Greg Strunk are the running backs. John Villella, the tight end. The wideouts, Chad Bush and Andy DeWitt. Al Tyson at center. Josh McCone and Eric Thorbjornsen, the guards. Dan Stelright and Chad Breaker are the tackles. We have Bush in motion to the left, I formation behind Laird. He hands off right away to the second man through, who's not going anywhere. Tries the middle of the line. That is Strunk, shoved back by the middle of the Cumberland line. Met there by Pete LeBlanc and Jamie Anderson. And it will be a real test for Cumberland's defense to keep the Rails bottled up here right off the bat. Second down. Bringing in a play now for the Rails is Teeger Seifert. Bush is split wide to the right. And Seifert in the slot right. Laird calls out the signals and hands off to the second man through. That looks like Strunk again. He gets a 5-yard gain up to the 50-yard line, where it will be 3rd down and 5 for Spooner. The Cumberland defense, the tackles, Chris Shire and Pete LeBlanc. Ends are Jamie Anderson and Dave Hansen. The linebackers, Dan Sirianni, Pat Heaney, Eric Greshner, and Mike Masiska. On the corners, Jason Horstman and Musen LeBlanc, and the free safety is Nathaniel Hedke. 3rd down and 5 for Spooner, just underway here at Spooner. Dave Findeland, Bob Chafee on WJMC-FM. Backs are split now behind the quarterback Laird. Hands off to Strunk, who's hit hard and shoved back. They will not get the first down by any stretch of the imagination. Greshner coming up and making the tackle. It's a gain of only a yard for Strunk, and it will be a 4th down and 4 situation for Spooner. Let's see if they punt into the wind.
That's pretty stiff wind here, too, to be punting into.
It is, indeed.
I'm sure that part of the rationale behind this is that hopefully they will have the wind with them in the
Chad Bush fields the snap on the first hop, barely gets it away. We have a flag, no flag, as Bush was run into by one of the Cumberland defenders. A fair catch is signaled at the 20, make that the 32-yard line of Cumberland.
He was popped, too.
Only a 16-yard punt for Strunk, who came in as the leading punter in the conference, averaging 34 yards per kick. He was under heavy pressure, got a bad snap. And it's 1st and 10 Cumberland. Mike Masiska, one of the top quarterbacks in the conference, the #1 passer, in one conference game, 125 yards passing. Jamie Anderson split wide to the left, along with Nathaniel Hedke. And here's Masiska rolling to his right. He hands off to the first man, trying to get some yardage over on the right side is Keith Posnikowicz, and not getting much of anything. Masiska, one of the best athletes, the best athlete perhaps on the Cumberland team, and one of the top quarterbacks in the conference. A gain of 3 yards on the play for Posnikowicz. 8:53 and counting, first period, no score. Spooner forced to punt on its first possession after a nice kickoff return, and Cumberland with the wind at its back. Posnikowicz and Horstman, the running back, split behind Masiska, who has 2 men to the right, Anderson and Hedke. Here's a spin. Masiska, big hold off the left end. Here he comes around the side. He's got 1 man in front of him, and they bring him down at the 46-yard line of Cumberland. It will be a first down, and Masiska showing great agility in that backfield there.
Good speed, you know, with a rollout like that, looked like an option. Came around and really poured it on coming around the end.
Got a 9-yard gain, a first down for Cumberland. Beavers with the ball on the left hash mark will send Hedke and Anderson to the left, and Masiska keeps his tight end Greshner on his right side, and the backs are split behind him. 8:16 and counting, first period. Masiska handoff. There's Posnikowicz rolling right side. Vaults the player. He's going to try and cut inside, but he's cut down at the 45. He's a little bit short of another first down, but Cumberland showing good quickness as they march down the field. They have 1 first down and are on the verge of getting another. Posnikowicz a yard shy, so give him a 9-yard gain.
Well, there was a lot of green in front of him when he tripped.
He was. The field is in great shape. He just seemed to lose his footing a bit as he tried to cut inside the defender. Second down and in less than a yard now for Cumberland. The ball just outside the 45-yard line. Call it the Spooner 46-yard line. There's Masiska. Play action rolling to his left. Cuts back inside. He has the first down. He gets to the 41-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 yards on the play. Second first down of the drive for Cumberland. 7:33, and the clock resumes as the sticks are placed. Cumberland taking the ball on their own 33 after the short Spooner punt. And we'll bring it out now, first and 10 at the Spooner 41-yard line. Masiska, play action, rolls to his right, has some yardage, going around the right end, trying to turn the corner down the right sideline. He's hauled down from behind, and he has another first down inside the 20-yard line of Spooner. Boy, the Beaver offense turning it on their first possession.
Just got him, I tell you, by the shirt tail there.
He gets down to the 19-yard line. It is a gain of 22 yards on the play for Mike Masiska, who has 3 carries for 36 yards. First down number 3 for Cumberland. And the Beavers on the march with 6:50 and counting in the first period. No score, but they're driving to take the lead. Hedberg and Anderson wide left. Cumberland has not thrown the ball yet. Hand off to Posnikowicz. He's hit at the line, spins maybe a yard or 2. This is a Cumberland team that is well coached by Mark Fuller and his staff. They've had a problem with numbers and injuries the last couple of years, but they're well drilled. You can see that. And if they get a head of steam underneath them, as Posnikowicz gets a yard right there, they can do some damage. Their victory in the conference was over Northwestern up in Maple, 25-16. They lost their opener to Chautauqua by 4, lost at St. Croix Falls by 16, and lost at home last week to St. Croix Central by 15. Second down and 9 now for Cumberland. Masiska hands off to the second man going through, and not much happening there. Horstman carrying for the first time has a couple of yards. It will be third down and 7 as the Spooner defense decides to tighten up. On the defense for Spooner, the tackles Al Tyson and Chad Berg. The middle guard is Everett Davidson. The ends Andy DeWitt and John Filello. The linebackers Eric Halverson, Kevin Eppelman, and Josh DePolis. Chad Bush, the safety, Joe Jellin, and Greg Strunk on the corners. Anderson is to the left. Posnikowicz in motion to the right. Masiska fakes the handoff, goes through himself, spins, and gets down close to the first down, near the 20-yard line. It will be fourth down and about a yard. It is a gain of 6 yards on the play for Masiska. And what will Mark Fuller decide to do? I think he's going for it at this point. The ball is just outside the 10-yard line. To the short side of the field go Hedke and Anderson to the right. Masiska looks over the Spooner defense. Spins, rolls to his right, trying to cut inside, almost has an opening, breaks down close to the goal line. He's down at the 1-yard line. A first down and goal for Cumberland. A gain of 9 for Masiska, who almost broke free.
It's kind of rare to see a quarterback like that, Masiska, run. He's run, I'll bet he's run, every second or third play on this drive.
In their victory over Northwestern, Masiska 16 carries for 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. They line up first and goal at the 1-yard line. 4:27 to go, first period. There's the handoff to Horseman plowing through. He's got close to the goal line.
Looks like a touchdown.
He's in there. Do they signal it? Yes, they do. Touchdown, Cumberland. Jason Horseman goes over behind the left side of the line, and the Beavers drive 67 yards on their first possession and score to take a 6-0 lead. A very impressive drive put together by the Cumberland Beavers. 4 first downs on the drive. Coming with 4:20 to go, and we will have a kick for the extra point. Chris Shirer will kick. Doing the holding for Cumberland is Nate Gray. We have a flag. Somebody moving perhaps on the line. Illegal procedure, Cumberland, and they'll move it back 5 yards. Horseman, who scored the touchdown, was counted on as a key member of both the Cumberland's football and basketball teams last year as a junior, but he blew his knee out in a playground accident early in the football season and missed the rest of football and all of basketball. 4:20 on the clock, bad snap, they get it down, it's blocked. That's a live ball, but they blow the play dead anyway. So that's the story for that drive as Cumberland drives to take a 6-0 lead with 4:20 to go. We'll be back in 60 seconds. This is high school football on WJMC. This is Chris Shirer. Left-hander boots it down, and it's caught inside the 30 to 28-yard line, and bringing it back up for Spooner is Andy DeWitt on the return for the Rails, and they get it just about where they got it last time, Bob, but they were stuffed on their possession, and Cumberland moved smartly on theirs.
DeWitt, quite a scrapper, came through, picked the ball up, or caught the ball, came through, actually had about 4 of Cumberland's defenders on him, and still wanted to stay up.
Good to see that kind of determination.
You better believe it.
4 minutes to go, first period, 6-0 Cumberland. High formation behind Mike Laird, the quarterback of the Spooner Rails. Here's the handoff to the second man through, and a nice hole coming through there is Strunk. Greg Strunk gets up to the 50-yard line, where he'll be about 3 yards shy of the first down. It's a gain of 7. Strunk, his 4th carry, and he has 13 yards. Spooner yet to get a first down in the football game. They split Chad Bush wide to the right. Setbacks are Halverson and Strunk behind Laird in the I. DeWitt in the slot right. There's the handoff again. They go to Strunk, breaks through, and he has a first down. It's down to the 45-yard line of Cumberland. That's a gain of 5 yards on the play for Strunk of Spooner. The Rails' first down. 3:12 and counting, first period, 6-0 Cumberland. Neither team has thrown a pass as of yet. Laird operating into a wind right now. Has Seifert in the slot right. And Bush split to the right. Handoff to the first man through. That is Halverson. Halverson carrying for the first time in the game. And he gets a solid 5 down to the 40-yard line. Nothing fancy so far from Spooner.
It's pretty heads-up football. Of course, you're playing right into the wind. I don't know if you'd want to risk a pass in that type of situation or not. What do you think, Dave?
I think that you dance with who brung you, and as long as you can move the ball 5 yards of crack on the ground, that's what you do. Bush is going to the right. Laird under center. Backs are split behind him. Strunk and Halverson. There's the handoff on the counter play. That goes to Strunk. A big hole down the left side. He's going to go. Greg Strunk in for the touchdown for Spooner. 40 yards on a simple off-tackle play. And Strunk has tied the game with 2:19 to go in the first period.
Yeah, big hole there. Boy, talk about some evenly matched teams here, Dave.
Yes, sir. The score at 2:19. Strunk breaks one 40 yards. The drive is 58 yards. And we will line up for the extra point kick. Laird will hold. Right-footed soccer-style kicker. And it's a high snap. They pull it down. They pass over to the right side. And it's a two-point conversion. Strunk makes the catch. Little razzle-dazzle on the extra point attempt, and Spooner has an 8-6 lead with 2:19 to go in the first period. We'll be back in 60 seconds. This is high school football on WJMC. We are back at Spooner High. The Rails have just taken an 8-6 lead. Chad Bush to kick off. They squib it. It hits the toe of a Beaver, and it goes the necessary 10 yards, but it's covered in Cumberland territory by one of the Beaver players. Making the recovery is Nathaniel Hedke and the Beavers, who moved the ball well on their first possession. 10 plays, 67 yards for the touchdown. Will take the ball first and 10 at the 37-yard line, their own. Messiska brings them out. He gained 51 of their yards on the opening drive. Under 2 minutes to play, first period. Cumberland trails at 8-6. Handoff to Posnikovich. Tries something right side, maybe a yard. Two evenly matched teams, as we said, Bob. One team that had a great deal of success last year. Spooner going all the way to the state finals before losing to Jefferson in the Division III championship game. Cumberland struggled last year, but came on in the latter few weeks of the season. Played some respectable football, and Mark Fuller has the team playing pretty well this year. Minute and a half to play, first period. Second down and 8 for Cumberland. Here's Messiska handing off to Horstman. Horstman gets through the line, but gets up only to about the 44-yard line. Strunk and Halverson on the tackle for Spooner. Thorbjornsen make that. It's going to be a third down play as Horstman gained 4 yards on the play. His third carry, he has 7 yards. Third down and 4. Spooner's defense was unable to stop Cumberland on the Beavers' first possession. Let's see if they can force them to punt right here. Hedke and Anderson are in the short side of the field to the left. There's Messiska faking the pitch, cutting to his right, cuts inside, but he's not going to go. He gets a yard or two, but nothing more, and Cumberland will be in a punting situation. Couple of yard gain there for Mike Messiska. And the Beavers looking over to Mark Fuller to see what to do. Maybe they'll go for it in this situation. 30 seconds to go in the first period. If they're going to punt, they better do it before they lose the wind, and that's what they're going to do. Messiska back to punt. He had 3 punts against Northwestern, averaging only 23 yards. 12 seconds. I wouldn't waste any time if I were them. There's the snap. Bush, the only rusher. He gets a nice kick away. It's going to send Strunk back. It takes a Spooner bounce, and now a neutral bounce toward the sideline where it is downed by Cumberland. And that's the end of the first period with the score. Spooner 8, Cumberland 6. We're back in 60 seconds. This is high school football on WJMC.
It's
a first period that saw Spooner outscoring Cumberland 8-6. The Beavers' first drive going 57 yards, 67 yards, ending on a 1-yard run by Horstman. And then Spooner coming back on a 40-yard run by Strunk. And now Spooner with the ball, first and 10 at their own 18-yard line. The handoff goes to Strunk, and he tries to find some yardage and gets a few across the 20 to maybe the 21-yard line. And he picks up about line of scrimmage actually was the 16, so let's call it a 5-yard gain. It was a 38-yard punt by Masiska of Cumberland to end the first period. Strunk gains 5 yards on his 7th carry. He's got 63 yards. 8-6 Spooner. The difference, a 2-point conversion by Strunk after his touchdown. Laird hands off inside, and that is Strunk again. This time he's hog-tied and thrown down short of the first down. And we'll see where they spot the football. It will be at the 26-yard line, just short of the first down.
Boy,
we may have a measurement.
Not a pass thrown in the first period.
No, sir. Well, in the game against Northwestern, Masiska completed 10 of 17 for 97 yards. And Laird, in their first 2 conference games, has completed 14 of 32 for 145 yards.
Well, we got the chain gang out here measuring for a first down.
Short by about 6 or 8 inches. So let's call it a gain of 4 yards on the play for Strunk. And it will be 3rd down in inches now for Spooner. The ball at about the 25-yard line. Officially would be the 25 if the first down marker is the 26. Have to be precise here.
That's right.
Game of inches. Didn't Vince Lombardi say that?
Something like that.
Yeah. Gentlemen, he said, there's a right way to do things. What way are you going to do it? My dad used that quite a bit. Here's Laird under center now for Spooner. He's going to go straight ahead. He slithers through, and he's got the first down easily. And he has yardage up to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 4 yards on the play for Laird on his first carry, and first down number 3 for Spooner. Let's call it the 29-yard line. Clock starts again with 11 minutes to go in the second period. 8-6 Spooner. Bush comes wide left. As Bob noted, not a pass has been thrown in the game so far. Laird now operating with the wind at his back in this second period. Backs are split behind him. We have a whistle and a flag thrown by the line judge. Usually indicates an offside against Spooner, and that's what the call is going to be. That is our first penalty of the game. Second, we had the one on the 5-yard on Cumberland on their conversion attempt. First and 15 now for Spooner at the 24-yard line of their own. Other games in the Heart of the North Conference tonight. Barron at Ladysmith. Northwestern has a non-conference game at Amory. Hayward has the night off. There's the handoff to Halverson. Breaks through. Nice move inside. Cuts over to the left sideline. One man to beat. Hetzke trying to haul him down. Halverson still going. And he's get down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line before Hetzke can finally bring him down.
Halverson swatting flies there behind him.
Eric Halverson. Hetzke hung on for about the last 12 yards of the run. A 37-yard gain for Eric Halverson on only his second carry of the game. Spooner's fourth first down, and the Rails driving to extend their lead. It's 1st and 10 Spooner at the Cumberland 39-yard line. 10 minutes to go in the half. Laird with Strunk and Halverson behind him. Has Bush split wide to the left, a slot left, and the handoff goes to Strunk. Big hole, Strunk down the left sideline. Strunk breaks free, but the system brings him down inside the 20-yard line. Make it right on the 20. A 19-yard gain for Greg Strunk and another Spooner first down as the line is starting to tear some big holes in the Cumberland line right now. Tail of the ball is on the 20-yard line. 1st and 10, Spooner. Beaver defense is shifting, trying to get some holes plugged. There's the handoff again to Strunk. Finds a hole over the left side, breaks the tackle, going down the left sideline, hits the player head on, and has what looks to be another first down for Spooner, or close to it. It is. Rails on the march right now. And let's see where they spot the football. It will be at the 7-yard line. A gain of 13 yards on the play for Strunk. Spooner's 6th first down. 99 yards rushing for Greg Strunk. First and goal, Spooner. Bush to the right. Valello, the tight end, lines up on the left side. And here's the spin handoff to Halverson. Halverson cuts inside. Halverson's still going. Halverson's still going. Still going. Is he in there? No, they finally stop him just inches shy of the goal line. It looked like he was going to be able to strain across the stripe, but the Beavers came up and, for at least a moment, have prevented a touchdown. They're only about a foot from the goal line. Officially a gain of 6 yards for Halverson. 9 minutes and counting first half. Let's see if they just plow it right through. Let's see if Laird takes it himself. Laird has a look at it. He'll take it himself, and he'll go in for the touchdown. Mike Laird scores from a yard away as Spooner extends the lead to 14-6 with 8:45 to go in period number 2. Pretty basic drive right there, Robert, but the big one was that long gain by Halverson of 37 yards.
Well, that's just what you said before. You know, football is a game of inches, you know, and you inch your way down the field. Both teams really seem to be doing that today.
It is an 82-yard drive. There's a bad snap on the conversion attempt. Strunk will throw. In there, score! To Bush in the end zone. Greg Strunk way back near the 30-yard line. Heaves one to the end zone, and Spooner has a 2-point conversion and a 16-6 lead. We're back in a minute. This is high school football on WJMC.
Stop.
Rails have taken a 16-6 lead over the Cumberland Beavers, and Bush's kickoff is hammered down the middle of the field. A high hop. Posnikowicz will let it go. There's a live ball, and Spooner's going to fall on it. No, Cumberland gets it just at the last minute. The Beavers thought it was not a fair ball. It was not a free ball, but it is, of course, on the kickoff once it goes 10 yards. It looked like the Rails were going to get it, but Cumberland has possession. At the 25-yard line. The Beavers catching a big break there. Cumberland would have really been in tough shape had Spooner gotten the ball. The ball at the 25, Mike Masiska brings him out. Let's see if he throws. He's got Anderson wide right and Hedke wide left. The first time he has split his receivers. Posnikowicz and Horseman in the backfield. Hand off to Horseman. Horseman's driving. Horseman sneaks through, and he's got some good yardage across the 30-yard line up to about the 37. Make that up to the 32. It's a gain of 7 yards for Horseman. Under 8 minutes to play, first half. Cumberland trailing it by 10 after gaining a 6-0 lead, has given up 16 unanswered points and is trying to get back into it. Hedke and Anderson wide to the left right now. Greshner, the tight end, on the right end for Mike Masiska and the Cumberland Beavers. There's the fake pitch, and Masiska keeps it himself, and that doesn't go anywhere. In fact, loses a yard on the play. Valello on the stop for Spooner. It's a loss of a yard on the play for Mike Masiska. His 7th carry, he's got 52 yards. Third down and about 4 for Cumberland. Will Masiska put it up this time? He's got Hedke to the left and Anderson right. He'll hand it off instead to Horseman. Horseman doesn't get the yardage necessary. Has a couple of tough yards. It'll bring up 4th down and about a yard and a half now for Cumberland. Give it a gain of 2 yards on the play for Horseman. And Masiska back to punt. His first one traveled 38 yards. Strunk is back for Spooner. Masiska punting into the wind, gets a good snap and gets a good kick away. Strunk will let this one bounce, takes a Spooner bounce, and will be downed by Cumberland at the 48-yard line. only a 19-yard punt for Mike Masiska. Not exactly what they needed at this point. Another 20 yards would have helped.
Well, that wind kind of holds it up.
It did. 1st and 10, Spooner, the ball at the rail 48-yard line.
I'll tell you, this Laird boy has really matured a lot. We saw him a little bit last year in a couple of games, but of course he's starting this year, and he's really matured a lot this year.
There's Laird, the handoff, going over the left side, and making his first carry of the game for Spooner is Jeff Erickson. Erickson, a junior, 165-pounder, carrying the ball for the first time. Under 6 minutes to play now in period number 2. Erickson gaining 6 yards on his first carry. And they come out with DeWitt slot right, Bush wide to the right. I formation now behind quarterback Mike Laird. 5.5 minutes in the first half. There's a handoff, and plowing straight ahead is Halverson. They're giving Strunk a break on this series. Halverson gets down to the 40-yard line, and that's a first down. Let's see there. That's a gain of 6 yards, I count it. Halverson's 4th carry. Spooner's 7th first down. 1st and 10 with 5 minutes to play in the half, and they lead at 16-6. There's the Laird handoff to Halverson, busts a tackle at the line, and gets maybe another yard. He was in the grasp of Pete LeBlanc and struggled forward for another portion of a yard. Let's call it a gain of 1 for Halverson. Strunk is back in there now. Halverson seems to be having a problem with his shoulder pads or his interior body padding, but he's okay. 4.5 minutes to go in the half. Laird calls out the signal. 2nd down and 9. A triple reverse. Here we come left side. That is DeWitt. DeWitt carrying over the left. Spins and knocked down. They fake the counter to each running back, and then here comes DeWitt from the right slot and has some decent yardage on the play. Down close to the first down, but about a yard shy. Call it a gain of 8 yards on the play for Andy DeWitt on his first carry.
See a little bit of razzle-dazzle today, huh?
And Chris Anderson starting to open it up a little bit. Turn into page 3 in the playbook. Bush to the right. Palello, the tight end, lines up left side, and Seifert is in the slot right. Seifert and DeWitt acting as the messengers, and we're going to have our first pass of the game. Laird fires deep right side, open Bush, cannot make the diving catch at the goal line. Bush had a step on the defenders, Masiska back there, along with Musin LeBlanc and Nate Hedke. And Bush, though, on a nicely thrown ball by Mike Laird, almost had the stretch fingertip catch at the goal line. That's the first pass from scrimmage. We had a pass on a conversion attempt by Strunk. Wasn't intended to be that, but it worked out pretty well. 3:39 to go in the first half. Here's the handoff inside. It goes to Strunk, who is hogtied and brought down by Greshner. Also on the play for Cumberland is Pat Heaney. And it's actually a loss.
About a half a yard.
About a half a yard on the play. And that was on a 4th down play. And so Cumberland forces a turnover on down. Let's give Strunk officially no gain on the play. Spooner turns the ball over on down, and Cumberland takes over at its own 31-yard line. 16-6 Spooner, 3:20 to play first half. Cumberland with all 3 timeouts remaining, but I think Masiska's going to have to put it up. He is going to have a busted play right there. Didn't know what he wanted to do.
Almost looked like he slipped.
Might have, as he tried to get back to the line of scrimmage, and instead he loses a yard. 8th carry for Mike Masiska, 51 yards. Under 3 minutes to go. Beavers come out. Jim Wallen is the center. Hansen and Heaney the guard. LeBlanc and Shirer the tackles. Horstman and Poznakowicz in the backfield behind Mike Masiska, who's Anderson wide to the right, back to throw. Quick pop, Anderson has it. Anderson hit by Bush and brought down after a gain of about 4 yards. First pass of the game for Mike Masiska of Cumberland. And it is a gain of 4 yards on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7. With 2:18 to go, and Cumberland facing a situation where if they punt into the wind, Spooner has decent field position and all 3 timeouts with about 2 minutes to play. A chance to get a quick score. Hedke and Anderson both coming to the short side of the field to the right. Masiska calls out the signals. Under 2 minutes to play. There's the spin and the handoff inside. It goes, nope, coming around the left side. That is Masiska. Masiska keeping. Masiska breaks a tackle across the 50 to the 47-yard line of Spooner, and Masiska is hurt. Mike Masiska with good play action. Inside fake to Horstman. Rolled around the left, had Poznakowicz trailing him, and disdained the pitch and went down to the Spooner 46-yard line.
Masiska's still down.
If they have anybody they cannot afford to lose, it is Mike Masiska. A 19-yard gain and Cumberland's 5th first down. Masiska now 9 carries, 70 yards. He went down right on near the sideline, the Cumberland side of the field, and does not look in too good a shape. Clock is stopped with 1:46 to go in the first half. Spooner leading 16-6. Your heart goes into your throat when your quarterback doesn't get up.
You better believe it. I'll tell you, any player doesn't get up. It's always, we had a scare here not too long ago with one of the kids here, and had a little back injury. Turned out to be okay, but anytime a kid goes down, that's why they have these practices. That's why they work out before the game. They get out here, they limber up. The coaches stress the importance of going into a game really working out, getting limbered up so that your muscles aren't tight and you're not going to get hurt.
At least not as often.
Right.
The nature of the game requires the body to be banged up some, but if you are fortunate,
well, you try and minimize it as much as you can.
Try and avoid it.
You bet.
Can't avoid it entirely, but the fact of the matter is that the great majority of players who do play this game on all levels don't get hurt, at least beyond a few bumps and bruises here.
That's true. I'm surprised he's still down.
Well, the players are being given water on the field right now. Looks to me like they're working on his right knee or ankle, neither of which is a good sign.
He visibly looks like he's in pain when they're working on it. You can see him banging on the ground somewhat, so that's not a good sign either, Dave.
And the second string quarterback is out there taking some snaps now for Cumberland. Nate Gray. Masiska. There are 2 other quarterbacks listed on the roster, Musin LeBlanc, who is also a starting defensive back, and Jeff Ritchie, a sophomore. But right now, Nate Gray, also a sophomore, is out there taking snaps. They are removing the sock of Masiska's right foot. I believe it's his right foot. And, you know, sometimes when you go down with a leg injury, especially the knee or the ankle, it turns out to, at first glance, be a lot worse than it actually is. And now they're bringing him up, and the fans are giving him a hand. He will be helped right away to the sideline, and he's favoring his right foot severely, and he'll be helped into the dressing room, and hopefully we'll see Mike Masiska back in the second half.
What a ball player. What he showed us here this first period, most of the second period here.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
Well, with 1:46 to go in the first half, Cumberland trailing Spooner 16-6, and all 3 timeouts remaining. And we will see what the Beavers can do without Mike Masiska in the game, at least for the rest of this half. I'm sure we won't see him again until third quarter, if then.
Well, of course, we all wish him the best and hope that it's nothing serious.
I'll tell you, though, it's if you've never had a knee injury before, the fear is always there.
Boy, you and I don't know anything about knee injuries.
No, we haven't. How many surgeries put together don't even we want to count?
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
We got somebody in Cadillac payment somewhere.
Well, the coach is going back to the sidelines now. Nate Gray is the Cumberland quarterback. And he sends Horstman wide to the right. Posnikowicz is the sole setback. And Gray hands off to Posnikowicz, who spins through the line, and he's cut down as he gets across the 45-yard line to the 44, where it will be a gain of only 3 yards on the play. Cumberland going without a huddle. 1:28 to go, first half. And the clock is running. Gray calls out the signals. Goes back to throw. Left-hander fires left sideline. He's got his man Anderson, who makes the catch and goes out of bounds close to the 42-yard line. Jamie Anderson, a big kid, about 6'5", and is expected to be the main guy on Cumberland's basketball team this year. And he gains, let's see, about 3 yards on the play. Anderson's second catch. A 1:15. The clock stopped on the out-of-bounds play. Third down and about 4.5 now for Cumberland. Horstman in motion to the left. Posnikowicz the sole setback. Gray to throw. Left-hander fires left side. Catch, caught, and shoved hard out of bounds right away. As Cumberland working the sidelines, that's Anderson again. It will be a little bit short of the first down.
That takes guts to hit that guy that hard. And Anderson's a big boy.
He sure is. It's a gain of only 2 yards on the play, though. So Anderson has caught all 3 of Cumberland's completed passes for a total of only 9 yards. Hedke and Anderson go to the left. 1 minute and 10 seconds to go. Fourth down and a yard for Cumberland. At the 38-yard line of Spooner. Here is Gray handing off to, pitching right side. Horstman fumbles. It's loose. Who's got it? It's recovered by Spooner. The Rails would get it anyway on the fourth down play. They had something going there. Horstman looked like he was going to be able to turn the corner, but he fumbled the pitch. It was not a bad pitch either. First down, Spooner, with 1 minute and 2 seconds to go in the second period. And Spooner calls timeout. Chris Anderson wants to get one more score on the board while he has the wind at his back here in this first half. A 6-yard loss on the play. We'll have to charge that to Horstman. And it was a fumble recovered by Spooner. It would have been a turnover anyway. Tomorrow on WJMC AM, it's Badger football as the Badgers host Northern Illinois. The Huskies come into Camp Randall on the air at 12:35. And tomorrow afternoon here on WJMC FM, it's Brewer baseball. At 1:30, the Brewers host the Oakland Athletics in Game 2 of their series. We have a football-baseball doubleheader for you on Sunday as the Packers host the Pittsburgh Steelers on the air at 2:15 Sunday afternoon on both WJMC AM and FM, and we'll follow the game on the FM side with the Brewers-A's game in its entirety. Final home game of the regular season for the Brewers. Laird brings them out. First and 10, Spooner at their own 44-yard line. Quick top over the left side, DeWitt. He had the run to hook and ladder to Strunk down the left sideline, still going. He's inbound to the 35-yard line, and a flag is thrown on the play. Clock stops with 55 seconds to go. Spooner ran that hook and ladder several times last year and ran it very well. They ran. Where the player was brought down was the 36-yard line. And the 15-yarder moves it all the way down to the 21. That is the first major penalty we have had in a game. And there's the handoff to Strunk. Strunk breaking free. Strunk on the left sideline, and he goes down. Clock stops with 42 seconds. And the ball will get almost to the first down marker. Almost to the 11. Going to be short just a bit. Call it the 12, second down and a yard. Strunk on the carry. He has 108 yards rushing tonight. That was a 20-yard pass play that got the ball down to the 36, and then the 15-yard penalty against Cumberland at the 21, followed by the 9-yard run. Here is Laird, quick handoff in the middle. Halverson cutting inside. Halverson, touchdown, Spooner! What a nice run by Eric Halverson. Did he ever pick his way through the defense? From 12 yards away, Spooner leads it now 22-6. The score coming with only 37 seconds to go in the first half. And Strunk will attempt the extra point. There's the snap. The kick is up. It hooks short. And oh, it just made it over the crossbar. Hooked inside the right upright and just cleared the crossbar.
It did look short from our
Boy, I'll tell you, but the referee right on top of it. And that makes the score Spooner 23, Cumberland 6. We'll keep it right here. Well, Strunk's doing everything tonight.
Boy, I guess.
The 56-yard drive and the big play was the 20-yard pass on the hook and ladder play. As Laird threw to Bush, or to DeWitt, who made the catch, and about 7 yards downfield, passed to Strunk, who took it the rest of the way. There's the kickoff, and it's taken by Posnikovich of Cumberland. Breaks one tackle, still going, runs into a mass of bodies, though. And with 30 seconds to go, Cumberland will have the ball at about the 32-yard line. "25 seconds to go in the first half. Mike Masiska of Cumberland injured late in the first half, taken to the locker room. No word yet on his condition.
It looks like he's on the sideline there getting nice stuff on the ankle.
Wait a minute. Yep, there he is. He wasn't taken to the locker room. Is that his left ankle by the looks of it?
Looks like his right ankle.
His right, okay. He's got it in a nice bucket. We got a whistle, a flag, delay of game with 2 seconds to go in the half. Nate Gray at quarterback for Cumberland. If he can get that ice, and if it doesn't swell too much, we just might see him back, but you never know. If there's a question at all of any sort of serious damage, you're not going to risk it. Chad Bush is playing way deep. He's standing inside his own 50 to prevent a breakaway play by Cumberland. 2 seconds. This will be the last play of the half unless there's a penalty on Spooner. Here's Gray rolling, and he cuts inside and is cut down. He gets a gain of about 4 yards on the play, and that is the end of the first half. With the score, Spooner 23, Cumberland 6. We'll be back in a minute. This is high school football on WJMC.
Edson's is having a
3-6 at halftime. Cumberland gaining the first 6 points of the game. A nice 67-yard drive on their first possession. Jason Horstman getting the touchdown on a 1-yard run. The extra point kick was blocked. Cumberland led it 6-0. The Rails came right back and drove 58 yards. Greg Strunk going 40 yards for the score, and then scored the 2-point conversion from place kick formation when the ball was snapped right to him. The first quarter ended with Spooner leading 8-6. In the second period, the Rails came back on an 82-yard drive after a Cumberland punt, and it ended on a 1-yard run by quarterback Mike Laird. Then on a busted play on the conversion attempt, Bush picked up the ball deep and fired a pass to, or Strunk picked up the ball, fired a pass to Bush in the end zone for the 2-point conversion to make it 16-6. And then the Rails stopped a Cumberland drive late in the first half, drove and scored on a 56-yard drive, and Halverson covering the last 12 yards for the score. Strunk kicked the point, 23-6. It looked like a very even game, but Spooner taking the measure of the Beavers so far, Bob, and if Mr. Masiska does not come back, it's going to be a long second half for Cumberland.
Well, you know, after that first drive, Cumberland came, got 6 points. It looked like Coach Anderson tightened up his defense quite a bit, because you didn't see that again. Although both teams, I think, in a lot of ways still are evenly matched. Of course, Spooner has gotten a couple of breaks, and of course, with Masiska, with his ankle, doesn't look good. He was on the sidelines icing it up. We certainly hope it's nothing serious and he can get back in the game in the next half.
202 yards in offense for Spooner in the first half, 111 yards for Cumberland. The Rails with 8 first downs, the Beavers with 5. Cumberland 2 penalties for 20 yards, one of them a critical 15-yard face masking call at the end of a 20-yard Spooner pass play that helped set up their last touchdown. Spooner only 1 penalty for 5 yards. Each team has, Cumberland has turned the ball over once on a fumble, although it was on a 4th down play. They would have had to yield it anyway. Spooner has turned it over once on down. So that's where we stand. When we come back, we will have second half action as we look at the other schedule games in the Heart of the North tonight. The only conference game is Barron at Ladysmith. Northwestern traveling down to Amory to play the Warriors in a non-conference game, and Hayward has the night off. In the large Lakeland tonight, and the football has been pretty good, and we will see whether or not the Cumberland Beavers can come back for the second half with Mike Masiska, who injured his ankle late in the first half. And I believe we will not see him because I see a Cumberland player in street clothes on the sidelines with crutches. And I don't see Mr. Masiska in uniform on the field, so I don't believe we'll see him anymore tonight.
1, 2, 3, what do you want?
Spooner received the opening kickoff to start the game, so this will be Cumberland's choice. I do believe that's Masiska on the sideline in street clothes on crutches. And he doesn't appear to be in too great a pain, in need of supporting himself with those crutches, but he obviously is not going to be playing any more football tonight. So that will leave Pete Gray as the quarterback for Cumberland. Nate Gray, correction. No, wait a minute. Masiska, I correct myself, is still in uniform, and he is icing his foot on the sideline. And now he's got it, his right leg elevated. And it is heavily wrapped from the knee downward, and I will be very, very surprised if we see Mr. Masiska back in the game tonight. He is now lying on the bench. His right foot looks like just the ankle. So I don't think we'll see him anymore this evening. 23-6 is the score. Spooner leading Cumberland. Next week, Friday night, we will be in Barron for the non-conference showdown between the Barron Golden Bears and the New Richmond Tigers. New Richmond, a playoff team out of the Middle Border Conference last year, lost in the first round to Maple Northwestern in that game at Pugland Field in Rice Lake. Barron, a playoff team the 2 previous years, but lost out in the playoff hunt in the Heart of the North last year to Spooner and Northwestern. And it ought to be a good game. The Bears having a few problems this year. They have lost their first 4 and are going to try and rebound tonight at Ladysmith, which also has lost its first 4. And so has Northwestern, as the Heart of the North has really taken its lumps in non-conference play. Spooner lost its 2 non-conference games so far. Cumberland 0-3 out of the league. Hayward 1-2. Barron 0-3. Ladysmith 0-3. Northwestern 0-2. It's been a rough year for the Heart of the North fans so far, but the Heart of the North will still send 2 teams to the playoffs, and it's anybody's race at this point. And as Mark Fuller was telling me before the game, Spooner is the team to beat. They're the defending champs, and they're champs until they're beaten. Mike Masiska will undoubtedly not play in the second half. Cumberland will receive the second half kickoff. 23-6 Spooner. The Spooner touchdown is a 40-yard run by Strunk, a 1-yard run by Laird, a 12-yard run by Halverson, and they've added 5 points worth of conversions. 2-pointer on a run by Strunk, a 2-pointer on a pass from Strunk to Bush, and a kick by Strunk for 1. In other words, Mr. Strunk has been in the middle of almost everything. Chad Bush will kick off for Spooner. Gray, Anderson, and Horstman deep for Cumberland. Into the wind, Bush sends one down the middle of the field where it's picked up on the one knee by Hedke of Cumberland, and he, of course, is down right there. And at the 29, call it the 30-yard line. So Cumberland begins play in the second half at its own 30. And here come the Beavers with Hedke going wide to the left, Anderson to the right, and Nate Gray is the quarterback in place of Mike Masiska. Not only do they lose a passing threat without Masiska, but a tremendous running threat as well. There's the counter play, and an inside handoff to Horstman, who has maybe a yard. It's going to be a tough row to hoe for Cumberland, but stranger things have happened. We'll see how they do. Gain of a yard on the play. Horstman, 7th carry for 11 yards. Masiska carried 9 times for 70 yards in the first half. He threw 1 pass, completed it for 4 yards. The leading ground gainer for Spooner in the first half, Strunk, 12 carries, 108 yards. Here's Gray on 2nd down and 9. Back to throw, left-hander throws to Anderson. Picked off almost. Bush almost had a pickoff and an easy 25-yard route for a touchdown. They were waiting for it. That was the same play they used to Anderson a couple of times late in the first half, and they were waiting for it this time. Chad Bush, coming up from his free safety spot, almost had another touchdown for Spooner. Gray now 2 out of 3 passing. It's 2nd down, make it 3rd down and 9 for Cumberland. Just under 11 minutes to play in the third period. Anderson goes wide to the left, along with Greshner, the tight end. And here is Gray taking a look at things. Gray handoff late to Horstman. Flag is down. Horstman across the 35-yard line to the 36. We'll see what the call is all about. It's against Cumberland. And we've got illegal procedure against the Beavers, and that will probably be accepted by Spooner. Otherwise, they'd be facing a 4th down and about 4 instead of 3rd down and 14. Illegal procedure, Cumberland. They're going to deny it. Well, Chris Anderson, gambling his team can stop them on 4th and 4 rather than give them 2 shots from 14 yards away. It was a 5-yard gain for Horstman. 10:52 to play in the third period. Poznakowicz in the backfield. They're going to punt. Poznakowicz to punt. Bad snap. It goes by him. Bush is going to come back on it. Poznakowicz going to run for his life. Coming over to the right. He's hauled down. Back at the 15. Make it the 16-yard line. Whoa, what a bad break for Spooner, or for Cumberland, as the Beavers lose 20 yards on the play. A bad snap, bounce in front of Poznakowicz, and to his left went behind him, and Bush was all over him. He had no chance to try and get off a quick running kick. A 20-yard loss. Masiska, of course, normally the regular punter. So the Beavers turn it over on down. 1st and 10, Spooner at the 16-yard line. There's the handoff to Strunk. Strunk coming around the right side. A nice spin move. Runs into a wall of defenders, though, and goes down at about the 7-yard line. He'll be shy of a first down. Strunk with his 13th carry. Let's call it the 8-yard line. It's a pickup of 8 yards. He has 116 yards. 2nd and 2 for Spooner at the, well, let's call it a 9-yard gain, as they're at the 9-yard line. Well, whatever. 2nd down and 2 now for Spooner. There's the quick pass, knocked down as Laird threw it right into the arm of big Jamie Anderson. It's now 3rd down and 2. Line of scrimmage is the 8. The original line was the 16. Laird is now 1 of 3 passing. He had a 20-yarder on the hook and ladder play late in the first half. 7 yards to DeWitt, who then pitched to Strunk, who carried it the next 13. 3rd down and 2 for Spooner. Here is Laird, quick handoff in the middle. That is Strunk carrying. He's got a first down inside the 5 to the 4. With 9:34 to play in the third period. The ball is at the 4-yard line, and it will be a 4-yard gain for Strunk. Ninth first down for Spooner, and the Rails with a 17-point lead and knocking on the proverbial door once again. Backs are split now behind Laird. Ball at the 4-yard line. Laird takes it himself on the quarterback keeper, but loses his footing and gets hauled down, maybe for no gain. 9 minutes to play. They call it a yard gain to the 3. Laird has 1 touchdown tonight. The battered and bruised Cumberland Beavers have yielded 23 unanswered points in the game. Bush to the right for Spooner. DeWitt in the slot right. Halverson and Strunk, a very effective tandem behind Laird tonight for Spooner. There's the handoff inside, and in there for the touchdown is Strunk again. Greg Strunk on the keeper makes it 29-6 in favor of Spooner. Strunk with his 2nd touchdown tonight, and it comes with 8:42 to play in the third period. They will go for 2. Lining up for the 2-point conversion. Laird to throw. Laird to the right side of the end zone. He's got Bush easily for the 2-pointer. Chad Bush catches his 2nd 2-point conversion pass of the night. And that's the score now, making it Spooner 31, Cumberland 6. We're back in a minute. This is high school football on WJMC.
You know, it won't be too long.
Spooner on the kickoff. Hetke takes it, and he is hauled way back. They'll give him forward progress and momentum to the 34-yard line. The Rails are fired up. Chris Anderson was saying before the game he was waiting for his team to explode after they got beat their first 2 weeks out by 20 points to St. Croix Falls, by 9 to Chippewa Falls McDonald. Came back to beat Ladysmith by 20, Barron by 14, and they've got Cumberland right now by 25 points with 8.5 minutes to go in the third quarter and counting. 1st and 10 for Cumberland. They spot the ball at the 32-yard line. And here is Gray handing off in the middle to Poznakowicz. Not much of anything there. Line of scrimmage was the 33. Poznakowicz gains a yard. His 7th carry. He has -1 yard now. You have to be saddled with that 20-yard loss on that punt snap. Wasn't really his fault, but he was the only guy back there, so you got to charge it with him. Anderson to the left and Hedke to the right now for Cumberland, and we have a new wideout in there for the Beavers, Jason Colucci. Here's Gray. Gray keeping himself. Pitch at the last second. He gets nailed. Horstman gets nailed himself. Gray really took a shot from Halverson. Horstman wound up carrying the football and maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage. Wow, what a pop. Horstman's 9th carry. He loses a yard on the play, and he has 15 yards on 9 carries. 7-10 and counting, 3rd period. And Cumberland a little bit slow coming out of the huddle right now. Gray brings him out. Hedberg and Anderson wide to the left. Horstman lines up on the right side. And Colucci, they've got 4 wideouts and a single setback behind Gray. What do you think? Pass? Colucci back to throw. Unloads left side. Hedberg. It is up in the air. It is caught and intercepted by Bush of Spooner. Curling around the left side. Cutting back inside. Hedberg gets him. Anderson hauls him down. The pass intended for Hedberg was knocked up in the air by a Spooner defender, and Bush floated under the football and got the interception. What a nice defensive play by the Rails, who were smelling it out all the way. That's the first interception thrown by Cumberland tonight, their 2nd turnover. And Spooner starts off 1st down and 10 at their own 47-yard line. They drove 54 yards on their first possession of the half to make it 31-6. Now 6:23 to go in the 3rd period. Back to throw is Laird. Laird firing deep right side for Bush. Up for grabs. Knocked down. 2 defenders, Muse and LeBlanc, and Nate Hedberg. Bush managed to get a hand up, if anything, just to knock it down to make sure it wasn't intercepted. And he and LeBlanc have a few words as they go back to their respective huddles. Laird, 1 of 4 passing. Clock stops with 6:13 to play. Brewer baseball again tomorrow afternoon on WJMC-FM. The Brewers hosting the Oakland A's. Game 2 of the series at 1:30. Game 3 of the series is in its entirety following the Packer game on Sunday. It's 2nd and 10. Laird handoff to the first man through. Breaking through is Halverson. Halverson cutting their corner right side. One man to break. What speed! Halverson all the way for the touchdown. He simply outran Muse and LeBlanc and goes 52 yards. 53 yards for the touchdown. What a blazing speed by Eric Halverson. It's 37-6 Spooner. 53 yards. He really turned it on when he got about 20 yards downfield and had 2 men to beat and just roared right by him. The score with 6:03 to play in the 3rd period. Halverson with his 2nd touchdown. The snap to Laird. The kick by Strunk is up, and that's good. The score now is Spooner 38, Cumberland 6. We're back in a minute. This is high school football on WJMC. Spooner Rails have roared to a 38-6 lead over the Cumberland Beavers. We still have 6:03 to go in the 3rd period. The kickoff is another short one taken by Hedberg at the 30. Hedberg dances up. What a shot he took! Whoa, as he laid out like a light. Eric Thorbjornsen making the hit on Hedberg. He took a major league shot right there. The ball spotted at the 36-yard line. Spooner has scored on its first 2 possessions of the 2nd half. After a bad punt snap, they got the ball at the Cumberland 16, went in and scored on a 3-yard run by Strunk. And after a Bush interception at the 47-yard line of their own, a 53-yard run for Halverson. Here is Gray, quick pass. He's got his man, and making the catch is Greshner. Greshner making the catch, and he has a decent yardage, almost a first down. He's got about 9 yards to the 46-yard line. Make it the 45-yard line. Gain of 9 yards on the play. Gray now 3 out of 5. Greshner with his first catch. And it's second down and a yard, under 5 minutes to play third quarter for Cumberland, trailing 38-6. Long count for Gray, trying to draw the rails off, can't do it, hands off to Poznakovic. He takes a big shot. And making the contact there is DePolis for Spooner. Josh DePolis. The boys are fired up tonight, Robert.
Boy, I guess so. A little update on Masika. Went over on the other side there. They just took him away. It is his right ankle. Looks like interior on the left side of his right ankle. They've got it bandaged up with ice on it. He cannot put any weight on it. They took him off, and I'm assuming that they took him to the hospital.
Poznakovic managed to get the first down before DePolis laid him out. And that is the 6th first down of the game for Cumberland. They got 4 on their initial drive. Well, hopefully it won't be serious enough to keep Mike Masiska out of action next week. Next week, Cumberland will host Ladysmith. Anderson in motion right to left. On 1st and 10, Gray to throw. Looks left side. He's got Anderson. Makes the catch out of bounds. Hit hard by Chad Bush and also by Andy DeWitt. And it's second down now, and call it 7, a 3-yard gain on the pass from Gray to Anderson. Jamie has caught 4 balls tonight for 12 yards. Well, unless he's got some severely strained ligaments in there, I would guess we will probably see Masiska back in action next week.
Well, let's hope so.
Second down and 7, 4:31 to play in the third period. Anderson in motion to the right, Gray to throw. In pressure, throws, caught. A flag is down back at the line of scrimmage. Greshner makes the catch. Let's see what happens. Gray was being blitzed heavily by Andy DeWitt. Penalties against Cumberland by the looks of things. 2 flags down, one near the point of the reception, the other near the interior line. Line of scrimmage was the 49-yard line. We have backfield in motion, Cumberland, and holding Cumberland. Spooner will have his choice, gets which one they'll take. They're talking to defensive captain Chad Bush. Next week, we will be in Barron for the game between the Barron Golden Bears and the Richmond Tigers. On Friday night, with the Brewers playing out in Oakland that night, we'll have a football game first and then a baseball game for you. Now comes the official signal as Bush has made his decision. The holding penalty is accepted. And that will move it back 10 yards to the 39-yard line. It will be second down and about 17 now for Cumberland. Third penalty of the game for the Beavers for 35 yards. 4:20 and counting in the period. 38-6, Spooner. Pete Gray, in relief of Mike Masiska, brings them out. Spooner's defense starting to tee off. Gray to throw, in trouble. DeWitt sacking him again. He gets it to Horseman. Horseman cuts upfield. Horseman, snowed under the tacklers, gets back to the original line of scrimmage before he is brought down. And it will bring up a third down and about 8 or 9 situation, and we have another man down. That's a Cumberland player. Is that Horseman? Must be. Horseman making his first catch. And he gained 10 yards on the play. Mark Fuller coming across the field, the injury occurring near the Spooner sideline. Mark was missing a couple of starters, one a two-way starter, before the game even began, due to a couple of suspensions, and now has lost one starting player, a two-way player, Masiska, as well as his punter, a three-way player, you might say, and now Horstman is down. Horstman had that knee injury that he suffered a year ago. Don't know whether that might be the problem now. If you've had a knee injury once and something happens to it again, it's a real problem.
You know, it looks like they're looking at his head. He might have had his bell rung there.
That could be. Yeah, they are. They're examining his left eye. Badger football tomorrow on WJMC AM. The Badgers hosting the Huskies of Northern Illinois at 1:30. No, correction, 12:30 for the pregame. He might have a contact lens problem. Yep. Well, you think the kid goes down with a serious injury and all he's lost is a piece of plastic.
Oh, it's hard to tell. Now he's down.
Oh, wait a minute.
Our vantage point here as far as seeing Spooner line in the way, so...
Well, he has to come out of the game anyway. I think it is he's holding something in his left hand, so I think it was a contact lens situation. But he has to come out of the game for at least one play. The rule that started last year was that if a player is knocked unconscious during play, he must leave the game and cannot return even if he regains consciousness and it feels just fine, which is a good rule.
I think it's a very good rule.
It will be 3rd down and 8 for Cumberland when we finally resume.
Problem with those type of injuries, Dave, you know, someone becomes unconscious. It's a secondary injury afterwards, which becomes even more critical.
Oh, yeah. We have wideouts going to the right for Cumberland. That is Jason Colucci along with Jamie Anderson. A slot ran in the right. Single setback. Posnikovich behind Nate Gray. Here's Gray. Collision in the backfield. Gray is brought down hard. He collided with Posnikovich. And a Cumberland player right on him. And Gray looks like he extended his leg a little bit on that. He's hurt.
His knee just looked like it popped, to be honest with you, Dave. He was hit.
Ouch. He was hit by a Spooner player. It was a clean hit. He's flexing his right leg. Well, if you're Mark Fuller right now, you're starting to dress the cheerleaders up because he's running out of players.
I certainly don't mean to laugh. This has been a tough game.
For Cumberland, it has started out well.
Yeah.
Drove down nicely, scored a touchdown, held Spooner on its first possession. They're looking at Gray's right knee. He was just sandwiched between Posnikovich and the Spooner defender. I didn't catch that guy's number.
He was hit.
And you heard the collision. .3:19 to play in the third period. Gray is getting up, and he's walking under his own power. He'll have to come out of the game. It'll be a punting situation anyway for Cumberland, as Gray lost 4 yards on the play. Well, let's see. Posnikovich back to punt. They're running some players in and out, trying to field a team. They need one more guy, and they finally bring him out. That is Jeff Ritchie coming out. The short man on the formation is Chris Shirer. High snap. Posnikovich brings it down. No rush. Gets a nice kick away. Halverson, fair catch, lets it go. Takes a great Cumberland bounce, and it will be down inside the 5-yard line. Greshner downs it at the 4. It turns out to be a great punt.
Good down, too.
That's going to be a beautiful punt for Posnikovich. From his own 44 to the Spooner 4. 52 yards on the kick. First and 10, Spooner. They'll take it at their own 4-yard line. Under 3 minutes to play, third period. This is the deepest In their own territory, Spooner has gotten possession. Previous was 18, and they went down and scored on that drive. There's the handoff coming over left side. Strunk gets a block. Strunk cuts up field. Strunk still going. Strunk gets across the 25-yard line. And he's brought down right about at the 26-yard line and gets it out of there. A big hole is escaped for Spooner. And he's at the 25-yard line, a pickup of 21 yards for Greg Strunk on Spooner's 11th first down. "15 carries for Strunk, and he has 141 yards. First and 10 Spooner. They lead it 38-6. Here's Laird handing off. That goes to Halverson. Halverson is brought down by Anderson.
Boy, Halverson's had a heck of a game today.
Yes, he has.
Also crowned the king today.
Homecoming king.
Yep.
Well, it's the apex of his life right now. That time, though, Halverson gains only 3 yards. He has 7 carries, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Bush goes to the right now for Spooner. DeWitt in the slot right. Laird back to throw, pumps once, fires right side. That's Bush, makes the catch, hit as he makes the grab, but he's got a first down. Musin LeBlanc on the tackle for Cumberland. And Bush gets up limping a little bit, but he's okay. And it is a first down for Spooner. Will spot the ball at the 38-yard line. Make it 39. 39-yard line. It is a gain of 15 yards on the play. Make that, let's see, 11 yards on the play. First down number 12 for Spooner. Laird has completed 2 of 5. We have a flag down on the play and a handoff going over the left side and not going much of anything there. Let's see what happens. And they're going to be talking to Cumberland. It is offside. Make that illegal procedure. Spooner. Rails have committed only 2 penalties tonight. Mark Fuller says decline it. He wants a second down and about 10 rather than first and 15. It is declined. That was Strunk on the carry, if I remember right. And that will be carry number 16 for Greg Strunk. No gain, 141 yards. He stays there. Under a minute to play, third period. 38-6 Spooner. The Rails have scored on 4 of their 7 possessions. Make that 5. Here is Laird to throw. Laird got his man. That is a new man in the game now for Spooner, and being brought down after he gets the first down is Kulisewicz. Matt Kulisewicz, the senior, making the reception. And that will be spotted at the Cumberland 49-yard line. It is Spooner's 13th first down. And we have a new quarterback in the game.
But DeWitt's coming in.
DeWitt will run the show right now. It's first and 10 for Spooner with 10 seconds to play in the third period. DeWitt, delayed handoff, gets it to Erickson. And that will be the end of the third period with the score, Spooner 38, Cumberland 6. It's second down and 11 now for Spooner as we start the fourth quarter. And that is DeWitt on the carry. Andy DeWitt, now the quarterback for the Rails, in relief of Mike Laird, who skippered the club through 3 quarters and into a 32-point lead. Did a pretty nice job. Erickson had lost a yard on the final carry of the third period, and DeWitt on that carry gains 2. So it's now third down and about 9 for Spooner. And the ball is at the Cumberland 48-yard line. Back to throw is DeWitt. Looks deep left side, way overthrown. He looks for Kulisewicz. Hedberg and LeBlanc were deep for Cumberland on the defense. It will be 4th down. DeWitt is not exactly the tallest guy in the world to be playing quarterback back there.
He's a tough kid.
And he checks in at 185 pounds, though. He's solidly built. Bush is back to punt now for Spooner. Only the second punt of the night for the Rails. And Musen LeBlanc is deep now for Cumberland. There's the snap. We have a new punter in. He gets the kick away. We have a flag down as the punt is going to be downed by Spooner at the 29-yard line. Aaron Brayton, I think, is the punter, although he has a junior varsity jersey on. It's a holding call against the Rails. Well, let's see. They're explaining the call to Cumberland. It's against Spooner. We have a holding call against Spooner. It is declined, and Cumberland accepts the penalty, accepts the play at the 29-yard line. It is a 19-yard punt. Jacob Recksteiner on the punt for Spooner. Want to give credit where credit is due. And they're going to spot the football at the 30-yard line. So Spooner began that drive in the third quarter from its own 4-yard line, and here is Musen LeBlanc at quarterback now for Cumberland. Heaves one downfield for Horstman, makes the catch! He makes the grab and is down at the Spooner 46. A flag is down back at the line.
Well, you know, it looked like Spooner didn't have enough players on the field.
They were running a player in as the play was snapped. And Horstman makes the catch. We have holding against Spooner. I would imagine this will be declined. It will be. Musen LeBlanc, the third Cumberland quarterback. Completes his first pass. Horstman on his second catch. It is first down number 7 for Cumberland. A 24-yard pickup. Musen, now we have a new quarterback in there. Handing off to Horstman. Horstman carrying across the 45 down to about the 43. The new man for Cumberland is Jeff Ritchie. The fourth quarterback used by Mark Fuller tonight. Horstman with a gain of 3 yards on the play. 10 carries, 18 yards for Jason Horstman. Under 10 minutes to play in the game. 38-6, Spooner. Poznikovich and Horstman in the backfield behind Ritchie. Now LeBlanc is back in there. LeBlanc fires right side. Anderson cannot make the reach over catch at the 40. Let's see if Ritchie comes back in as the messenger quarterback. No. They're utilizing Jason Colucci. Hedberg comes out. Anderson and Colucci go wide to the right now for Cumberland. LeBlanc is still in there. LeBlanc pumps, in trouble, dumps it off short. He's got his man making the catch and moving smartly upfield before he is brought down at the 39-yard line is Andy Flottam. Flottam makes the catch. It will bring up a 4th down and about 3 situation. So it's a gain of let's call it 4 yards on the play. Andy Flottam with his first catch. LeBlanc calls out the signals, and we've got movement and contact on the line. Jumping across for Spooner was Mike Swanger. Was he drawn off? If he wasn't, then Cumberland gets a first down. They will. Offside Spooner, 5 yards, and it goes to the 35-yard line of the rails, and the Beavers have their 8th first down on Cumberland, or Spooner's second penalty, second one that's been accepted. Ritchie now at quarterback for the Beavers has Hedberg and Anderson to the right. Here's Ritchie handing off inside to Horseman. Horseman cuts around the left corner. Horseman has yardage across the 30 to about the 28-yard line. 8:43 and counting in the game. Eric Thorbjornsson on the tackle. It's make that a 6-yard gain for Horseman. He has 11 carries for 24 yards. LeBlanc is back in at quarterback now for Cumberland. And we have an official's timeout. LeBlanc has some equipment to contend with. Well, the Packers and the Steelers on Sunday. Pittsburgh 3-0 under new head coach Bill Cowher. And Mike Holmgren's Packers at 1-2. That's a late start at Lambeau Field on Sunday at 2:15 airtime, 3 o'clock kickoff, live on WJMC AM and FM. LeBlanc is going to have to go out of the game, at least temporarily. And following the football game on the FM side, we'll have Brewer baseball as the Brewers host the Oakland A's in the final game of their 3-game series and their final home game of the season. Milwaukee charging hard to overtake Toronto in the East, 3.5 back going into tonight's play. Here they come out again. Ritchie back at quarterback now for Cumberland. He sends Hedberg and Anderson wide right. 8:09 and counting. There's Ritchie handing off inside. He's got Poznikovic, who looks like he has a first down or very close to it. To about the 24-yard line, he's got the first down. A gain of 4 yards on the play for Poznikovic. Cumberland's 9th first down. Beavers are driving. This drive started at their own 30. 7:53. LeBlanc is back in now. Anderson in motion to the right. Back to throw is Musen. LeBlanc fires right side. Incomplete for Anderson. 7:41. Well, I don't know. Chris Anderson was saying he thought the boys would explode. Have they exploded tonight, Bob?
Well, the score is 38-6. It's kind of been a casual explosion.
Yeah. They have scored more points in this game. Their previous high, 26 against Ladysmith here a couple of weeks ago. They had 2 early scores against Barron last week and then could not score anymore. 2nd and 10 for Cumberland now. At the 24-yard line, Musen LeBlanc looking to set up the screen. He's got Horseman wide open. Horseman back at the line to the 20. Horseman down to the 15. Horseman cutting inside, still going strong down close to the 5-yard line. A well-run play, and Jason Horseman making the most of it. And it will be 1st and goal for Cumberland. At the 5-yard line, a 19-yard pickup on the pass play. LeBlanc is 3 out of 4 now for 47 yards. And Horseman 3 catches for 53 yards and first down number 10 for Cumberland. 1st and goal. Here's LeBlanc handing off. Horseman hit in the backfield and dropped. That looks like Travis Moore on the stop for Spooner. No gain on the play for Horseman, who has 12 carries for 24 yards. I counted Cumberland with 5 yards of offense in the 3rd quarter, Bob.
Well, you know, that doesn't win football games.
No, it doesn't, especially when the other team is scoring touchdowns, which they did twice in that period. 2nd and goal from the 5 for Cumberland. 6:40 and counting in the game. Colucci goes wide to the right. Anderson to the left. LeBlanc is the quarterback. Rolling to his left. He pitches at the last second. He gets the ball. And making the reception is Poznikovic, and he gets close to the goal line.
Boy, he did well to get rid of the ball.
He was in the grasp of the defender. It looked like a lateral pass to me. It would have been a legal forward pass anyway. We'll call it a lateral. And Poznikovic gains yardage to the 1. He gains 4 yards on the play. It will be 3rd and goal for Cumberland with a yard to go for a touchdown. Hedberg right and Anderson left. LeBlanc, we'll see what he does. LeBlanc hands off, blasting into there for the touchdown. For Cumberland is Jason Horstman. And it's only fitting that Horstman should get the touchdown. He scored the first touchdown of the game, and this might very well be the last. Jason Horstman goes over from a yard away on his 13th carry. And it comes with 5:52 to play in the football game. Cumberland will go for 2. Why not? LeBlanc the only setback. Horstman splits way wide to the right. Anderson and Colucci wide left. Flottam split wide to the right, and now Poznikovic in motion out of the backfield, and LeBlanc will be all by himself. Rolling to the right, flag is down. LeBlanc rolling, cuts back toward the goal line. He's got it in there for the score. Let's see what the flag is all about. Illegal procedure, Cumberland. So much for that. Well, that was a nice drive, a 70-yard drive for the Beavers. .552 to play. Illegal procedure against Cumberland will, of course, be accepted by Spooner, and the Beavers will have to try and score from about 8 yards away now. See if they change their strategy at all. LeBlanc brings them out. Two men split to the right, Horstman and Flottam. And 2 more to the left, Hedberg and Anderson. Poznikovic, the sole setback. Now he's in motion to the right. And LeBlanc fires across the middle, and he's got his man Anderson for the 2-point conversion. So they score, going to the other side of the field. And the score now is Spooner 38 and Cumberland 14. We're back in a minute. This is high school football on WJMC.
It's almost here. Snowmobile season. Get ready now with a visit to Chetek Economy Marine. Maybe this is the year for that new sled. Take a look at the sleek, exciting Ski-Doo Sport Model snowmobiles at Chetek Economy Marine. They look ready to leap right off the showroom floor. And you'll find a complete line of accessories and clothing. With over 30 years of sales and service experience, Chetek Economy Marine knows snow machines. So if you're a serious snowmobiler, just a novice, or in between, you need to get to Chetek Economy Marine on the lakefront, downtown Chetek.
Healthy and wealthy buys are yours at Kirkwood's IGA. This week, get an 8-inch skillet for only $8.99. Your choice of IGA Table Right USDA Choice Beef Chuck Boneless Pot Roast, Swiss Steak, or Stew Meat, just $1.69 a pound. And a 16-ounce package of Schweigert Chorus Fine or Beef Ring Bologna is only $1.99. And great for weekend ball games, Wilson Corn King Franks, just 79 cents for a 12-ounce package. Kirkwood's IGA, Barron, Bloomer, Chetek, and Colfax.
Spooner leading Cumberland now 38-14. Bob, you look at Spooner's schedule after tonight. They go to Hayward next Friday night. That'll be a major showdown game. In fact, it's the next to last conference game. They close conference play on the 9th of October here against Northwestern. So the game with Hayward looks to be for the championship.
Yeah, pretty much. It's always been kind of a rivalry between Spooner and Hayward. Well, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what happens.
There's the kickoff. It's taken now by Horst Halverson of Spooner, and Halverson gets up to the 35-yard line before he's brought down. And that's where the Rails will take over. 5 minutes and 46 seconds to go in the game, 38-14 Spooner. After the Northwestern game, the Rails close out with a couple of non-conference games on a Saturday, October the 17th at Ashland, and a Thursday the 22nd here against Bloomer. We have all kinds of confusion there in the line. People were moving all over the place when the snap occurred. You get the real young kids in there, they want to go. Yeah. They don't want to wait for anything like, a 2 or 3 count. Let's go right now.
Forget this stuff. Well, of course, Coach Anderson trying to give some of the other kids some time to play.
And you sometimes learn by making mistakes. Backfield in motion, Spooner. 5-yard flag, moves it back to the 30. 1st and 15 now for the Rails with 5:29 to go. And the clock resumes. Who do we have as the quarterback? He is Eric Lindstrom, a sophomore at quarterback now for Spooner. Lindstrom pitches to Erickson. Erickson tries to cut back against the grain. He's not going anywhere except down. And in the grasp of Jason Schiebel of Cumberland, it is a loss of 4 yards on the play for Jeff Erickson. Eric Lindstrom brings them out. Lindstrom hands off in the middle. Plowing ahead for a couple of tough yards is number 36, but that's not Greg Strunk. That is Travis Moore. Travis Moore gains about 4 yards back to the 30-yard line, bringing up a 3rd and 15 for Spooner. Lindstrom, the 3rd quarterback employed by Chris Anderson tonight. Laird started. DeWitt came on late in the 3rd. 4:05 to play in the game. Here's Lindstrom. Fakes the pitch, rolling to his left. In trouble. He's going to be sacked and brought down. On the tackle for Cumberland is Dave Hansen. Also in there for the Beavers, Chris Shirer. And it's going to be a big loss for Lindstrom. And it will bring up a 4th down situation, a loss of 7 yards on the play. And in to punt again is, what's his name again?
Rex Steiner.
Rex Steiner, there we go. There's the snap. Almost blocked. He gets an end-over-end kick. Musen LeBlanc will take it at the 49-yard line of Cumberland. Dances around and gets nailed at the 50. A 28-yard punt for Rex Steiner. First and 10, Cumberland at midfield. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the 4th quarter, and Cumberland with a chance to tack on another consolation touchdown. Musen LeBlanc brings him out. What do you want to bet he puts it up?
I bet she does.
Hedberg going to the right. Anderson left. Here is Musen LeBlanc.
Nailed.
Can't do this one, though. He's nailed. And Erickson on the tackle, on the sack. LeBlanc wanted to pitch, but by the time he thought about it, he was down and out.
Solo sack by Erickson.
A loss of 6 yards on the play for LeBlanc. Second down now and about 16 for Cumberland. 2:28 to play. Here comes LeBlanc again. Rolling to his right. Hit as he throws, fires, overthrows Anderson. A massive hit laid on LeBlanc by a rail defender. And that looks to be Kane Ogren, a sophomore. Looks like he has some potential.
I would say.
205-pounder, sophomore, good size, good quickness to get back there, knows what to do. Not all of them do. LeBlanc is now 3 out of 5 passing. 3rd and 16. Poznakovic goes out of the game. And in the backfield now for Cumberland, along with Horstman, is Jason Colucci. Here is LeBlanc. Quick fire right side. He's got his man. They run the hook and ladder, but fumble the ball. It's loose and picked up by Cumberland, Spooner, and down the right sideline. They ran the hook and ladder to Hedberg, who was trying to pitch to Colucci, but he pitched it behind him. And the fumble picked up by the rails, Erickson, and carried downfield to the 35-yard line. Wow. When it rains, it pours. Well, let's see here. Completed pass. Yeah, the gain of about 4 yards on the pass, and then a loss. Lindstrom at quarterback now for Spooner. Hands off. On the carry is let's see. Number 44, who's not on our roster.
Well, we got about less than 2 minutes left.
Andrea. Brian Andrea loses 2 yards. And there's the handoff now. Strump coming down the right sideline and going all the way for close to a touchdown. Yes, touchdown, Spooner. 37 yards. Eppelman on the carry. Kevin Eppelman scores for Spooner. And it was, what, 36 yards? 37. 36. It's now 44-14, and Spooner going for 2. Here's Lindstrom, bootlegging to the right. Lindstrom looks in the end zone wide open. He's got it for the 2-point conversion. Another unknown player. They sure haven't suited up the 8th graders.
I was just going to say Anderson. I think Anderson is suiting up the cheerleaders.
Anyway, the score now is Spooner 46, Cumberland 14. We're back in a minute on WJMC.
Stop today into Swat Motor Company in Rice Lake and take a test drive in the hot 1992 Eagle Summit 4-door. Auto, air, AM/FM stereo, and more. After your $1,000 rebate, you pay just $10,863, and that, my friends, is the lowest price of the year. So don't wait any longer to buy that new car. Also at Swat Motor Company, get 2.9% financing for up to 48 months on all 1992 GMC Sierra pickups. For the best vehicles at the best prices, come to Swat Motor Company, your Jeep, Eagle, Pontiac, and GMC truck dealer. South Main, Rice Lake.
Lake Area Disposal is proud to sponsor high school sporting events and activities in Northwest Wisconsin and urge you to get out and support your local team. Lake Area Disposal, serving residential, commercial, and industrial customers since 1950. Trash and rubbish containers from 10 to 50 cubic yards capacity are available for all types of refuse removal. They have a complete recycling and organic composting facility at the Serona landfill. Call for pricing and estimates at 234-7744. Lake Area Disposal, serving Northwest Wisconsin for over 40 years.
46-14. Josh Lemke made the catch of Lindstrom's pass for the 2-point conversion. Hedberg takes the kickoff at the 25, goes up the middle of the field right into the mass of humanity, and comes down at about the 35-yard line. Well, it's been one of those nights for Cumberland. They started out leading 6-0. Since then, they've been outscored 46-8. And we have a minute and 15 and counting in the game. Musen LeBlanc brings in the play from Mark Fuller on the sideline. Put it upstairs. See what we can do. We have a lot of JV uniforms in the game now for Spooner. LeBlanc looks over the rail defense. And now Poznakovic goes out of the backfield, leaving LeBlanc all by himself. LeBlanc to throw, looks to his left, rolling to his right, in trouble, tries to cut up field. He's cut down on a nice tackle. 39 seconds. LeBlanc loses a yard. Allard on the stop for Spooner. 25 seconds to go. This will probably be the last play of the game, unless it's an incomplete pass. Let's see what LeBlanc wants to do. Let it all hang out. No, that's Ritchie, the quarterback, handing off to Horstman, who plows ahead across the 40-yard line to about the 43-yard line.
And that is game, Dave.
And that's it. The final score, the Spooner Rails win their homecoming game. The final, Spooner 46 and Cumberland 14. We'll be back to wrap it up. This is high school football on WJMC.
Edson's is having a Beat the Frost sale, which means you'd really better hurry into Edson's in Barron. Get 1/3 off select groups of Nike athletic shoes, cross country, walking, and football. Get 25% off select ladies sportswear groups like Pikettes, Jansen, Peter Popovich, and more. And on display right now is the 1992 season's new line of Dickens Villages. Discover the difference at Edson's. Beat the Frost sale going on now through Saturday at Edson's in Barron.
Quality. It's a word everyone uses today. But what does quality really mean? That's one question you don't have to worry about when you call Johnson Adler the Plumbery in Cumberland. They're your Lennox dealer. You see, Lennox is the only heating and cooling manufacturer that makes its dealers adhere to strict quality standards. So detailed, Lennox has to put them in writing. Next time you need help with your home comfort system, call Johnson Adler the Plumbery, your Lennox dealer in downtown Cumberland. Because for quality, products, and service, it must be a Lennox.
Well, we are back now at Spooner High School. Dave Tyndall along with Bob Chafee, where the Spooner Rails have just demolished the Cumberland Beavers 46-14 in a game that looked like it was going to be an even football game in the first few minutes, Bob, as Cumberland stuffed Spooner on its opening possession after the kickoff and then drove 67 yards, and Jason Horstman put the Beavers up by 6 with a 1-yard run. The extra point kick was blocked, and that kind of started things going downhill for Cumberland, because the next thing you knew, it was 46-14 for a final score.
Yeah, you know, you're right. When we first game first started, they looked so evenly matched that it really surprises me to see the score this lopsided. Of course, both teams played well. Of course, Masiska, the injury there did not help Cumberland
at all. No. They were down 23-6 at the half, certainly within striking distance, but without Masiska in there, they were pretty well helpless. And defensively, they were hurt as well. And also, he was their punter. One Spooner touchdown was set up when the punt snap went awry, and Poznikovic was unable to recover in time. Had Masiska been back there, his quickness might have enabled him to salvage something out of that play. But we'll never know. The final score, 46-14. Briefly, the stats for Spooner. Strunk carried the ball 16 times for 141 yards. Halverson, 7 carries for 111 yards. How about 252 yards from your starting backfield tonight? And Laird added 6 yards on 3 carries. Erickson, 3 for 1. DeWitt, 2 for 10. Moore, 1 for 4. Lindstrom, 1 for -7. Andrea, 1 for -2. And Eppelman, 1 for 36 for the touchdown. 300 yards in offense rushing tonight for Spooner. Laird completed 3 of 6 passes for 43 yards. DeWitt was 0 for 1. Receiving, DeWitt 1 for 7. Bush 1 for 2. Kulisewicz 1 for 12. And Strunk, no catch for 13. He was on the receiving end of that hook and lateral late in the first half that helped set up a Spooner touchdown. 343 yards in offense for the Rails. For the Cumberland Beavers, Masiska carried 9 times for 70 yards, all in the first half before he went down. Horstman, 14 carries for 33 yards. Poznikovic, 10 for 8 yards. Gray, 2 for 0. And LeBlanc, 2 for -7. 104 yards rushing for Cumberland. Passing, Masiska, 1 of 1 for 4 yards. Gray, 5 of 7 for 27 yards before he went down with a leg injury. Didn't look too serious, but he never did return. LeBlanc was 4 of 6 for 51 yards. Catching, Anderson 4 for 12, Greshner 1 for 9, Hedke 1 for 4, Horstman 3 for 53, Flottam 1 for 4. 186 yards in offense for Cumberland. Spooner with 13 first downs, the Beavers with 10. Cumberland 3 penalties for 35 yards, Spooner 3 for 15. And Cumberland had 2 fumbles lost and 1 interception. Spooner did not turn it over except once on downs. After that Horstman touchdown, Spooner came back, drove 58 yards, Strunk covering the last 40, and that tied the game at 6, and then Strunk on a fake extra point kick went in for a 2-point conversion to make it 8-6, and Spooner never looked back. That's how the first quarter ended. Second quarter, Laird a 1-yard run to close an 82-yard drive. Bush threw for the 2-point conversion, or caught a pass from Strunk on a busted play, made it 16-6, and then with 37 seconds to go, the Rails drove 56 yards. The hook and ladder play set it up, and followed by a 15-yard Cumberland penalty. Halverson went over from 12 yards out. Strunk's kick made it 23-6. And the halftime score was that. In the third quarter, after Cumberland yielded the ball on downs at their own 16 following a bad snap on a punt formation, Strunk scored from the 3-yard line. Bush caught a 2-point conversion pass from Strunk to make it 31-6. Then with 6:03 to go, after a Bush interception, the Rails drove, and actually it was just one play. Halverson 53 yards on a great run. He really turned it on. Strunk kicked the point to make it 38-6. In the fourth quarter, a 1-yard run by Horstman of Cumberland, closing out a 70-yard drive, and a 2-point conversion pass to Anderson made it 38-14. And then after a Cumberland fumble on their hook and ladder play, Eppelman went 36 yards for Spooner with 1:26 left, and Lemke caught the 2-point conversion pass from Lindstrom for the final score. So that's how it lasts, 46-14. Next week, the Spooner Rails will be in Hayward for the big showdown game with the Hurricanes. Spooner will go there at 3-0 in the conference, 3-2 on the season. And Hayward, not playing tonight, will still be 1-0 in the conference and 2-2 on the season. So that's a very big game for both teams. After that game, Spooner will have Northwestern here, and that's the end of the conference season already. So it's a must game for Spooner and a must win for Hayward if they want to have a shot at the conference title. Cumberland next week hosting Ladysmith. Our next broadcast will be Friday night, October the 2nd, from Barron, the Golden Bears against the New Richmond Tigers. On the air at 7:15 live. Don't forget Badger football tomorrow afternoon from Camp Randall on the AM side. The Badgers hosting Northern Illinois at 12:35. Here on the FM, it's the Brewers and Oakland A's at 1:30. Then on Sunday, both stations carry the Packers and the Steelers at 2:15, and we'll follow that on the FM with the Brewers and A's once again. Well, Robert, want to thank you very much for helping us out tonight. Your expert commentary always appreciated, as well as your biting wit. How's that?
Thanks for putting up with me. I really enjoyed
no problem. We'll do it again sometime. Maybe in another 10 years or so. No, really. The final score, once again, as we thank our engineers back in the studio and all of the sponsors who made it possible, and you, the listeners, for hanging with us. Spooner 46 and Cumberland 14. For Bob Chafee, I'm Dave Tyndall. So long from Spooner on WJMC.